Hello, this is Cat's Diamond Painting. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. I am here today to film a video I have been very excited to get out because I have now been diamond painting for 4 years. I started in mid-April 2021, and that means it is finally time to do my 4th year-end review of diamond painting. So a lot of creators like to get these out at the end of their calendar year, and I think it's something that a lot of us who enjoy diamond painting videos really enjoy is watching these year-end review videos. I do mine a little differently. I do it at the end of each year that I have actually been diamond painting for, mainly just because I started my channel in like the February, and then, you know, a little while later it came up to my first anniversary of diamond painting, and I wanted to do one, and then I've carried that on. I have been wanting to film this video all week and I haven't quite been feeling up to it, but I've decided I'm just going to go for it this afternoon. So bear with me if I am not quite myself at all. So I finished around 13 projects this year. I say around because there's some that are a bit bitty, there's some that are kind of not full diamond paintings. I don't know, it'll kind of make sense as I go through it. But yeah, it's not been my most productive year. In fact, I think it might actually be my least productive year of diamond painting. I think there's a few reasons for that. I think it's just I've been doing this a long time and it's still my #1 hobby, but you know, every year that goes by, I suppose a little bit of the shine fades, just in terms of it's not the only thing I want to be spending my free time doing anymore. And also just it's been a busy year with my shop. I have a shop, Crafting Cat UK, where I sell diamond painting putty, both on Etsy and on TikTok shop in the UK, and that has kept me really busy this year, which has been wonderful. But yeah, the great irony of setting up a business around diamond painting is that you have a lot less time for diamond painting. And then recently I've been in a bit of a slump. I've done very little in the past month or so, but I'll probably get onto that later, because what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to take you through the 13-ish completions that I have for this year, and then I will show you my ongoing whips, which I think I have 5 at the moment. So yeah, you'll see everything that's been going on for me with diamond painting this year. I think that's quite enough waffling, so I'm going to crack on with my first one. This is going to be a Diamond Art Club heavy video because they are the shop where I buy the majority of my diamond paintings from. There's several diamond painting shops that I do really love, and I just don't buy from as often, whether it's to do with them not having quite the same range, so me just not finding as many kits that I love enough to buy, or cost. In the case of some of the small shops that I buy from, who are based in the US specifically, so then shipping gets expensive. So yeah, it's not that I don't think there are lots of other places that are worth buying from, it's just Diamond Art Club tends to be the one that has the most kits that appeal to me that are affordable for me. So yeah, you will see a lot of Diamond Art Club. It won't be exclusively Diamond Art Club. And as ever, I'm trying this year to, you know, to bring in more variety as much as I possibly can. So, completion #1. This is one that I finished on the 1st of May 2024. So just a little while after my last cut-off. And this is Floyd the Fabulous. So this is a Richard Lorenz kit from Diamond Art Club. It was 50.8 by 68.7 centimetres, and it had square drills. Again, the majority of the projects that you'll see are squares because that is my favourite. And this is, I mean, talking about favourites, this is one of my all-time favourite completions. Richard Lorenz is probably, if I had to pick one artist to say that's my favourite, it would have to be him, because for me, as diamond paintings, they are just perfect. I love the art, it's fun and bright and colourful, but they're also just really satisfying and fun to diamond paint. You get this wonderful contrast between fun, crazy detail and bright colours in the middle, and then some background that you can whiz through more quickly. And yeah, I remember at the time that I was doing this, I was in a little bit of a slump towards the end of that last kind of year review period. And I wasn't enjoying diamond painting as much, and I was thinking, am I going off it? And then I worked on this one and I was like, no. I'm not going off diamond painting. I just haven't been working on the right ones recently. And yeah, this is just absolutely one of my favourites ever. I've done I'm trying to think, I've done at least 4 Richard Lorenz kits. There might be more that I'm forgetting, and I have a lot more, and they're just my go-to. Like every year I want to do at least a couple of these because they are so much fun. So this was finish number 1. Oh, another thing to say about this is that I guess I have a soft spot for it in particular because after I was accepted on the Diamond Art Club sneak peek program, this is the first one that I was sent. So that made it extra special because, I mean, I absolutely 100% would have been first in the queue to buy this on release day. But I was actually sent it to promote for Diamond Art Club, and that, yeah, it was a very happy time. So this is Floyd. He is very, very fabulous. I love him very much. And then my next finish was on the 26th of May. And I'll just explain before I go any further that this is the first of several mystery kits that I completed this year. So there were 3. I believe there were 3. And because of the way my brain works, and I've debated how to do this and whether I should put the mystery kits at the end of the video or do them in order. But no, I really want to go through them in order. So I'm going to show them in the order that I completed them, which means there is a mystery kit coming up next. So what I'm going to do is every time I show you a mystery kit, I'm just going to clearly tell you what that mystery kit is and give you a countdown from 5 to look away if you don't want to. If you don't want to see it. None of them are particularly recent, so they're all ones that you may be happy to receive spoilers for anyway, but just in the interest of avoiding spoiling it for anyone who maybe does still have them in their stash, that's what I'm going to do. So Floyd's going away. And the next kit that I'm going to show you is Diamond Art Club Mystery Kit number 38, which was, I'm just checking at the bottom to see what it was labelled. It's by the artist Katrina Coltez, and it was labelled Abstract Animal. This did come out in about January 2022 or 2023, so a long time ago. So it's unlikely to be a big spoiler for a lot of people, but I'm just putting that out there anyway. So I'm going to be showing you what this completed kit looks like in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is. And this was another kit that I absolutely adored. Oh, the sun's shining through the window, which is kind of bringing out the pretty highlights, but also creating shadows. So apologies for that. I'll try and move things around so you can see them properly. So there is the top, which I don't think you've quite seen yet. And there is the bottom. So this was 55.8 by 55.8 centimetres. So a pretty nice small to medium sized kit in terms of the kind of kits that Diamond Art Club offers, which is of course what I'm used to because, as I've said, that's where I buy a lot of my kits. So licensed artwork projects tend to be bigger because they're going to be rendered to a size that really suits the artwork, and that often means they need to be bigger. Oh, those shadows are not good, are they? I might actually have to draw the curtains if it carries on like this. I love Katrina Coltez. I've had a few pieces of art by her as diamond paintings. I think, have I just completed one before? I'm not even sure if I've completed any others. This might be the first one I've completed. And this was my first experience as well of completing a mystery kit from Diamond Art Club that had the multicoloured background. So just in case you don't know what I mean, when they started doing mystery kits, they did them just in pure black and white, as a lot of places do. And then over time they changed that so that you'll have lots of different colours speckled through the background, but they don't correspond to the colour of the drills. So they distract your eye from the image rather than highlighting what the image is. And I was a bit unsure whether I was going to enjoy that style of doing them, but I loved it. It turned out I absolutely loved it. I found it so super satisfying seeing the picture emerge from the background. Sadly, that sunlight has had to go, otherwise I thought you weren't going to be able to actually see anything. So yeah, this one was absolutely gorgeous and just really, really fun to work on. Again, this one came straight after Floyd the Fabulous, so I'd recently come out of that kind of slump, and this was just another really good pick from my stash that I really, really enjoyed. Lots of line blocking, so it actually went quite quickly, although you'll see lots of colour speckled through it, but I remember whizzing through this really quite quickly. It largely had the 13 facet drills that Diamond Art Club had for a while. They've had several evolutions of square drills, and those are kind of my favourite they are the ones that I like working with the most. So I do enjoy working on slightly older kits from my stash that have those. It's got lots of ABs. You can see this deer here is mostly ABs. And the funny thing with this is in person, this really blends into the background and you can't really very clearly see that it's a deer. But in the viewfinder where you can see it, it works very well. And I find that kind of thing very clever. So this is finish number 2. Let's move on. My next finish, which wasn't actually until August, so I'm not quite sure what I was working on in this period, probably one of my whips that I haven't finished yet, is Home on the Hill. This is by Mad Art Studios. It's another Diamond Art Club. It's another square kit. But yeah, this one was super fun. I remember that I started it and then for some reason I got a little bored, and I'm looking at it now and I don't know how I got bored because it's just everything I like in a diamond painting. And I did have a little break in the middle to work on some other things. Sorry, just trying to show you the top as well there. But yeah, it's everything I like in a diamond painting really. I bought this one on the first Black Friday that I was shopping with Diamond Art Club. So this would have been November 2021. And then I remembered that I destashed that and rebought it to get the kinds of drills that I prefer, which I'm aware sounds really finicky. And yeah, that's me. But that did really add to my enjoyment of it because I didn't enjoy the gapping that you used to get more with older drills. 2 things I really, really love in diamond painting are bright colours and abstract art. So you'll see a few abstract pictures really. You can tell the ones that I go for. And I've done a Mad Art Studios, is it just one? I might even have done a couple of Mad Art Studios ones in the past. Ones that Diamond Art Club no longer carries. I'm not sure they actually carry any of theirs at the moment. Anyway, I really, really enjoy them. And yeah, this one was really fun, apart from that little blip in the middle where I had a break and then realised I didn't actually want a break and went back to it very quickly. So yeah, it's got a fair amount of, well, I was going to say a fair amount of colour blocking, but I'm looking at it and I think most of the sections that look like they would be blocking are broken up. So it's a bit more of a confetti colour blocking blend, I suppose, would probably be reasonable to say. I really like these Dr. Seuss style houses that you often get in the Diamond Art Club, in the Mad Art Studios pieces, because we read a lot of Dr. Seuss books to my son when he was younger. So that's kind of a nostalgia thing for me. And yeah, it's just really fun. I love pieces like this. I wish that they would come out more often, to be honest, but I suppose they're not the most popular, but I know I'm not the only one that enjoys them. Always enjoy a bit of colouring in as well. These kits where you get to do a black outline and then kind of fill in what goes in it. And for that, I will always just do the black outline first and then go and fill it in. So yeah, very satisfying. My next actual finish was one piece of a mini dazzle set, but as I didn't finish the rest of it till a few months later, I'll show you at that point. So the next diamond painting I completed was in mid-September, and it was Solar System. So Diamond Art Club has released 2 kits called Solar System that I'm aware of, and I had the other one, and then this one came out and I ended up destashing the original one and doing this instead because I figured I didn't want to do 2 in the same sort of theme, and I just preferred this one a little bit more. The thing with this one is that it's just that much more bright and vibrant. The other one is a little bit more spacey. You know, it's got a lot of black or dark blues and that kind of thing, and there actually isn't that much of that in this one. There's a little bit up here and down here, but most of the colours are bright and vibrant and fun. But you still have planets that you can work out clearly, like here we are. I love the way the sun's been done. That's chock full of ABs in there. Not sure if you can tell, and you can see the sort of solar rays coming out, and then Saturn is gorgeous with this ring, and I can never remember which is which with these, Neptune and Uranus, and there's various smaller ones that are harder to identify, like that's maybe Mars, or maybe that is, I'm not sure, and Jupiter over here. I'm not sure why I'm showing off my my very elementary space knowledge here, because it's obviously not a true to life image anyway. But yeah, I just found this one really fun. It's a theme I love. I loved the bright colours. This one was a limited edition when it came out. I think it came out for Diamond Art Club's 4th anniversary. because they have occasionally done big anniversary sales when it was one of their shop birthdays, as it were. I'm looking, I can see some wonky bits here where I have not placed them very well. So yeah, Jupiter's a little bit skew if you look too closely, so don't. But yeah, it's the same thing as the others, you know, those lovely square drills from a particular evolution of the square drills that I very much enjoyed. It's got a good mixture of a little bit of colour blocking and some confetti, but not overly intense. Again, it's just another one that's got everything I like in a diamond painting going for it. So this one was also really, really fun. The next kit that I finished was another mystery kit. So after I did Solar System, I started on what I thought was going to be my only Halloween project, but then I got sidetracked by this new release that came out that I really wanted to do. So this next one is going to be Diamond Art Studio, so a different shop, their 12 Days of Spookmas Mystery Chart to Art project. So that's what I'm about to show you. I'm going to put it on the screen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is. So this is quite a nice small one, but this one is very different to anything I've ever done before. So Chart to Art is Diamond Art Studio's now trademarked style of doing diamond paintings, and they've released several, and they say they've got several more planned. And I absolutely love them. I actually have my second one in the house already, ready to work on at some point. So Chart to Art is like, it's like a cross-stitch conversion where you have a cross-stitch chart and then you map that onto a blank canvas, and use diamond drills instead of, you know, thread on a cross-stitch canvas. But these are ones that were all conceived of and designed to be diamond paintings. So whereas when you do cross-stitch conversions, where it really was originally made as a cross-stitch chart, they can be ginormous because cross-stitch takes up a lot less space than diamonds do. So for the same size piece, you're going to be placing many, many, many more stitches than you are placing drills. So they can be absolutely ginormous, and then sometimes because of that they can look a little bit more pixelated. It's hard to describe. Anyway, I'd never been particularly drawn to doing a cross-stitch conversion because I just thought they're usually really big projects and they just don't appeal to me that much. Then Diamond Art Studio released one in this style for Christmas 2023 for Advent, and I didn't buy it because I thought, I've never been that interested in cross-stitch conversions. But then I had friends who worked on it and I watched the details emerge, and it looked like so much fun that when this came out, I decided to go for it, and I'm so glad I did because I really, really enjoyed it. So they provide you with little envelopes because it's done in a mystery kit style, and it's sort of like, this was like a Halloween style advent calendar. You had 12 windows and 12 envelopes. So you could either open each envelope and do a day at a time that way, or if you've purchased the kit, they will provide you with a link to a PDF as well, so that you can do it online. So Android users tend to use Pattern Keeper, and then there's Markup for iPhone or iPad users, which is what I am, so I used Markup. And I had a friend who had done that Advent one and had figured it all out, so she kindly held my hand and took me through how to set it up. A little bit fiddly, but nothing too major, so that is how I did it. I worked off the charts on my iPad. The border section was actually printed on there in black and white rather than the colours, but that bit you didn't need to follow a chart for. It was like a regular diamond painting mystery kit. And then these boxes were just blank. They were just a grid with nothing else printed on them. So I used the Markup program to fill those in, and it was really, really fun. I loved it. You know, a bit like how I was saying with the mystery kit, the Katrina Colters, where I wasn't sure how it would go down. Sometimes I'm not the best with change and trying something new. But I shouldn't be that way, because actually when I do try new things, I generally like them and I really enjoyed it. And as I said, I've bought another one to do in this style. It's also fun doing one like this in mini pictures. The newer one that I've got is actually one big picture, whereas with this one you could do the windows in any order you wanted. I just did them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. because I work on my easel and that was the way that made the most sense. I think the images are really fun. They have actually already released one for next Halloween, which one of their artists has done. So similar style of kind of cartoony, fun, non-gory Halloween images, but completely different to this one because it's been charted by someone different. And I am tempted, although I'll probably want to do something different next year just because, you know, I've done this for Halloween now. It had quite a lot of ABs. What was it? 7 ABs. And there were a lot of them through the border, which was really cool. The border, by the way, at the start, I thought I was going to get so bored of. And then by about halfway through, I actually quite enjoyed the sameness of the border. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, it was really fun. It was a cool project and I'm really glad I did it. Okay. Next up, in early November, I finished the project that I originally started for Halloween. So this is back to Diamond Art Club, and this is To Grandmother's House We Go by Margarita Yermolaeva. I'm sure I've mispronounced that. Apologies. I did my best. It was 51 by 66 centimetres. And this was another Black Friday purchase, I think 2022. And it's also squares. Everything's been square so far, hasn't it? I do have a couple of round finishes coming up. But yeah, this is one that when I was stalking Black Friday releases that year, I instantly loved and really wanted. And one thing I've learned about diamond painting for me, because I don't know if this is something that would hold true for other people, but it certainly does for me, is that sometimes the kits that I think I'm going to love working on are not the ones that I love working on, and vice versa. I actually find it really, really hard to predict. And I loved this image and I thought it's going to be quite blocky, it's going to work up quite quick. And I loved the bright colours, you know, orangey yellow colours are fun to work with. And then, yeah, I didn't love it that much. It's got a lot of brown. I don't know why the colours I work with matter so much to me, because you're just placing drills overweight, but somehow they do. And yeah, it's probably another part of the reason why I went for that Diamond Art Studio one, because I'd done about half of this. And then when that came out, I was like, no, actually, I'm not going to persevere with this. I'm going to do the one that, you know, my heart is telling me I want to work on right now. Then I came back to it and finished it, and you know, I did enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with it, and there were no quality issues. There was nothing actually wrong with the kit. It was just very much a me thing that I think sometimes it's just expectations versus reality. Like whenever I go into a kit thinking I'm going to really, really enjoy this one, quite often it just can't live up to my expectations, which I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. But I do really like the finish. I think it's very cool. Love anything with cats, and these guys are absolutely adorable. Very cleverly rendered too, because there's actually a lot of blue in them. They look slightly weird in person. This one in particular has got a lot of blue, but it's just, that's, you know, how you can actually see them being more than just black blobs once they're placed. And this one's little basket, and his jaunty walk is adorable. I feel like my cat Harry, if he could walk on 2 back legs, this is what he would look like. Because it's very, oh, yes, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so that was finish number, I don't know, I haven't kept count, so I don't know why I started that sentence that way. This was a finish. Next up, I was feeling a little bit Halloweened out, and I wanted to start on some Christmas type projects, but I didn't want to go straight into like the really big one that I was planning, so I did this one. So this is Diamond Art Studio made it, but it was made for Add More Zest. Let me bring it up actually, so you can see it because it's teeny tiny. And this was in the Add More Zest Advent Calendar from 2023, which I bought and enjoyed. But I didn't actually do this that year. And I thought this would be fun to do this year. And I was really curious how it would work out, being a 15 by 15 kit. And I think it's amazing how much detail they packed into this. I never would have believed you could get so much detail in a 15 by 15. And obviously it's a bit more pixelated than the same sort of image would be if it was bigger. but I think it's been done really well, and it was just so fun to do a real snack size, finish in a couple of days kind of project, because I don't often get to do those given that I only buy licensed artwork, and like I said earlier, they tend to be a lot bigger. So that was fun. Next up, I decided to go back to that Mini Dazzles set. So as I said, I started them in the summer while I was on holiday and did one, and then I came back to finish the set. Because again, I just wanted a small project. So this is the one I did in the summer. Sorry, this had fallen on the floor. It's got a bit dusty. So this is the one I'd done in the summer. This was an Animal Kingdom set that I was sent as a sneak peek. And I love the penguins. And then there was dolphins. I'm kind of counting this whole set as one finish. And there was an elephant. These are all fairy dust, apart from possibly the occasional AB. Yeah, there are a few ABs in there. The butterflies, the peacock, which was quite involved for the size. And then the majestic horse, which I left to last because I didn't like that one as much. I don't know why. But anyway, there was that whole set of Mini Dazzles, and I found that I really enjoyed them. I've never done much in the way of small projects before. I prefer to stick to actual diamond paintings. And I mean, I still do prefer big diamond paintings, but I discovered these are a really fun way to break them up. And then the next thing I did, it turns out, I must have had a break to actually work on, yes, I did. I was then working on my big Christmas project, which I haven't finished yet, so it's still in my whips. And then I wanted to have a break from that and do something else small before Christmas. So I did another set of Mini Dazzles. These came in Diamond Art Club's advent calendar this year. So they were an advent calendar exclusive, and I loved these. They had some Christmas Mini Dazzles that weren't in the advent calendar, and for my personal taste, I preferred the ones that were in the advent calendar. Apart from anything, they had these quadrilles. And I am obsessed with quadrilles. I just think they're really fun. So there was this snow globe. There was a candy cane. There was a present. There was a fireplace. That one, again, very involved. Possibly not one of my favourites because there's maybe a little too much going on in it. And it sort of makes it look a bit more pixelated. Maybe a more simple design could have been more effective, just in my personal opinion. Then you've got a Rudolph and a little elf to finish. For some reason, I always just go through these in the order of how much I like them. So yeah, the elf was my least favourite pick, but he's still pretty cute, isn't he? And then I did yet another small Christmas project, and this was another one from the advent calendar. This was Happy Snowman by Donna Gelsinger, and this was, yeah, one of the two full-size kits. I mean, I say full-size, they're obviously very small, but a proper full diamond paintings that came in the advent calendar, and I thought they were both really nice last year. So it's only 22.8 by 30.8 centimetres, but it's actually really, really well done for that size. And this is a round kit. This is the first round kit I'm showing you from the whole year. I was kind of off rounds for a lot of last year. I think there was a long period when I felt like the grid wasn't lining up as I like, because I'm fussy and I like to multi-place, and I already find it hard multi-placing with rounds compared to squares. Yeah, and the grid seemed a little too big for a while, but then they tightened the grid, and I worked on this one and discovered that. And I'm like, yes, I can do round kits again. I do like Donna Gelsinger. I've had a few of hers, and I just thought this was adorable and just a really lovely image for them to manage to render at that size. And then because it's rounds, it's so sparkly. I do love that about rounds. You cannot beat that. As much as I love the satisfaction of placing squares, you cannot beat the sparkly finish of rounds. So this little snowman was super adorable. And I think that was the last of the Christmas projects that I actually finished this year. The next one, which I'll show you just because I did it, but I'm not considering this a finish or anything, is that I planned to, every month of 2025, work on the calendar year, the calendar page for that month, and also a Mini Dazzle for that month. And the calendar, I did the first one. So here it is. You can see him there. He's rather cute. And I started the second one. I placed a few drills. And then at that point, because something like this, you really ideally need to work on flat. At that point, I was really struggling with my neck and shoulder issues. I have ongoing muscular issues. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. And one thing that really triggers them is trying to diamond paint flat. I normally work on an easel, and I probably could have got this on an easel, but it was slightly awkward. So I thought, oh, I'll work on it flat. And then it hurt. And then I thought, hang on, the thing is, do I actually really want to spend time doing this that much? Because these, considering you have to single place because they're not in, you know, they're not evenly spaced. They're sort of spread all around and they have that cool effect. Let me go back to showing you the one that I actually did so you can see that properly. The effect is really cool, how they're not lined up and there's that texture to it, but it means you have to single place, which I don't love to do just because I'm used to multi-placing, so I find single placing really slow in comparison. And it actually made it begin to feel like quite a big project to fit in every month, because for me that's probably 2 or 3 days diamond painting time, depending on, you know, how much I'm getting done. And I just thought, I don't enjoy this style of project enough for it. So I made a start on February and I gave up, and it's not a reflection on this, it's a reflection on me and my tastes that this just doesn't really do it for me. So that is all I've done of the calendar. And next up along those same lines, I started on the Mini Dazzles months of the year. And this isn't a completed project yet, but because it's not supposed to be, because I intended to do it month by month, I'm kind of going to show you what I've done now rather than consider it a whip. Because it's all just semantics anyway, right? I'm setting my own rules. So this was January. This was February. This was March. Did I get those right? Because that seems more... I wonder if that's actually February and that's March, because I don't know. This just seems more... There's more green. Anyway, one of those is February, one of those is March. I can't remember which. And here is April. So April's definitely getting into more spring-like tones. And I think they're a lot more varied from this point on. There won't be as much confusion between them, whereas the winter ones are trickier, aren't they? So yeah, I'm really enjoying doing these every month. As you can see, I've got the current one in a frame, and this sits on my office desk where I do, you know, any officey work for my my shop, like sending orders and that kind of thing. And yeah, just really enjoy these. Like I said before, Mini Dazzles I just find really fun for a really quick and easy and simple project. I can do one of these in an evening without too much stress. And yeah, love the fairy dust. So that is where I'm up to with that. So the next thing that I did, as I said in my end of Q4 review, I really wanted to focus on going over some whips that I'd had outstanding for a long time and get those cleared down before I did this review. And I have had some success with that. So my next finish was Nightfall by Cat Fedora at Mooney Made. So Mooney Made is a small shop in the US. She does licensed artwork, she hand renders, and Cat Fedora is another of my absolute favourite artists. So this piece is stunning. I bought this quite a long time ago. I was so excited to work on it because I loved it so much. And then I didn't have the best time with it. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail now because I put up a really detailed post review. So if you're interested to hear my thoughts on it, you should go check that out. But there is a reason why I started this in like March of 2024, did about half of it and put it away for half a year. One of which is just in general, I don't enjoy round drills as much, but there were some specific issues I had with this one and the quality of the round drills. She has upgraded her canvases since I bought this, so I cannot speak to the quality of her current round drill canvases. I hear lots of really good things about Mooney Made canvases. I have square canvases from her. I've recently purchased more, which I'll have an unboxing of sometime soon. So yeah, I'm not critical of Mooney Made as a shop in general. I think it's just, you know, this is what happens when you have a stash, because all these shops make kits of a certain quality and then over time they make upgrades as they're able to. and you get used to working on the newest kits, and then you pick out one from a while ago that maybe would have seemed perfectly good quality at the time, but it feels like you're going back. So I had these acrylic round drills, and there were a lot of colours that were just absolutely full of trash. I had a lot of trash in general with this. I was a bit worried I wouldn't finish it. There were lots of darker colours, and they were particularly bad for trash, and they were everywhere. And I think just in general, although I think it's beautiful and very sparkly and lovely, it probably would have been better in squares. At the time I bought it, it wasn't available in squares, and I think she has since released it in squares, and I absolutely would have bought the squares if I'd had the choice at the time. Just because things like these bits, I mean, they actually look really cool in the viewfinder, but in person they're a little bit clunky. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember, because I know that I put up this quite long post-review video going into great detail about how I found it. And now not a lot's jumping out to me other than I'm looking at it and thinking, wow, it looks really cool. So overall, at the end of the day, I'm glad I did it. I did have a hard time working on it. Yeah, but it's done and it is beautiful. Next up is my last mystery project of the year. This is another Mad Art Studios kit. It is Mystery 41 by Diamond Art Club. The theme was Abstract Ocean, and I'm going to put it on the screen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it is. I absolutely loved this kit. One of my favourite things I have done all year. Two things. One, I would have loved this however it was done. I definitely would have picked it up. The bright colours, the abstract nature, the fun, the mixture of confetti and colour blocking. It's got all the things that appeal to me in a diamond painting, really. Let me just show you the top as well. But two, the other thing that I really realised working on this is I just really enjoy mystery kits. And I never realised I would enjoy them as much. And I'm thinking back over ones I've had in the past and destashed because I thought I'd never get to them, and having some regrets. Because now I'm like, I kind of want all the mystery kits. And I think I'm someone who always finds out what the artwork is before I buy them. For this style at least anyway. I don't tend to do that with Diamond Art Studio Chart to Art ones. Don't ask me why it's different. It just is in my head. So I always know what they are before I buy them. So if I really am not keen on the artwork, I'm not going to buy them. But if I like the artwork, I think maybe my bar for liking it enough to buy it is possibly set a little lower for mystery kits now than regular kits, just because I have found I just really, really enjoy them. And I think particularly when you have one with lovely bright colours like this, the way they pop out from that background is just chef's kiss. Wonderful. Absolutely love it. I think this one only took me something like 2.5 to 3 weeks, which I know a lot of people are much speedier than me and will finish a kit this size because it's only 70.7 by 55.8 centimeters. So I know some people would finish that in like a week or a few days. For me, that is quick. That's all I'm saying. You can tell that I personally was really into it and working on it as much as I could, because for me, that is super quick for a kit this size. This is my little Dr. Seuss style shark's fins, because they kind of go with the houses that I was pointing out on that other one I did last year. I think the flowers are so fun. There were loads of ABs too in this one. And a fairy dust drill. But yeah, 3 AB colours, but one of them, there was loads. I think there were 2 or 3 fat bags of it. And you can see it all through this bit with the droplets of water coming off the whale's tail. I think I did say in my post review, like, if I was going to be super critical, if there's one thing that I don't enjoy as much about this piece, it is the water droplets, because I think they're just a little clunky compared to the artwork. But that is just a thing. Whenever there is water or stars rendered in paintings, I tend to find they're a bit clunky, because inevitably in the original artwork there'll be smaller bits than diamond drills can be, and that's just an inevitable feature of pixelating a piece of art to make it into diamond artwork. And it's not a criticism of the rendering, it's just, you know, they have done that as well as it could possibly be done, and it's just not my favourite thing in diamond paintings, but I do think they did it well. And it looks very effective. And yeah, all the bright colours and the animals, like there's a parrot, and I love things being done in different colours. So you've got palm trees and they're pink and yellow and AB. So I'm like, yes, I do enjoy that. Even the flamingo is sort of red, like red and dark red rather than pink. But I'm not sure if that's more a sort of lighting effect. I think I'm overthinking it given the abstract nature. But yeah, this was really, really fun. Absolutely one of my favourite finishes, probably ever, certainly of the year. And now I come to my last finish of the year, which was another one that I had started early last year and wanted to come back to and finish off. And that is Huggable by Randall Spangler. This is one I got on Amazon.com, but it is a Diamond Art Club. They sell some pieces on there, generally smaller ones like this, generally rounds, sort of beginner style pieces. And I have used my Stackry account, which is like a parcel forwarding service, a few times to purchase from there, because you can't actually purchase from there directly to the UK. And this is one I had started and done like a row of. I think this is actually the one that I broke up that Mad Art Studios one with, and then I was like, no, I want to go back to the Mad Art Studios, because I actually just didn't love it. And it's another of those ones, I actually think Randall Spangler's, I have a few of them in my stash, and I think it's probably just that I've already done a few and I don't like doing the same things over and over, because there are several that I've bought because I love them, but then when I go to work on them, I never seem to enjoy them as much as I think I'm going to. I think it's an expectations versus reality thing again. It's not a reflection of them or the artwork. It's me thinking like in a vacuum, like, oh, I love the colours, I love this, I love that. And then not thinking, yeah, but I've done similar before. So yeah, I think I do need to have a long, hard think about some of the ones that are in my stash. A lot of the Randall Spanglers I have are not the Draglings series, so they don't kind of come under that because they're a little bit different. Or the Draglings play a much smaller role in them. Like I've got Cat Bookshelf and I've got Catfishing. And yeah, they're definitely ones that I will buy again, but I'm just going to be a bit more choosy with them and just be aware of my own limitations, that if it's going to feel very similar to one I've done before, I'm probably not going to get as much out of it as I could do. So in the end, I came back and finished it. It didn't take too long because it is pretty small. It's 32.8 centimetres square, and it is a round drill canvas, just in case you didn't spot that. So I think there was 3 round drill ones in the end, but 2 of them were very small. So yeah, definitely square heavy again this year, as it will no doubt continue to be, because that's just what I prefer. So those are all my finishes for this year. I think, and when I go through them all, I feel kind of productive, but then I'm also aware, I mean, it's not about comparing myself to other people because it's not a competition, but equally a lot of the channels that I enjoy watching would do this amount in like 2 or 3 months. So I know I'm not getting as much done as I would like to, because I think it's just a lot of tiredness at the moment, a lot of feeling very wiped out, and just as much as I enjoy diamond painting, even just sitting at a desk doing that can feel a bit too much. So yeah, I'm just not finding as much time for it as usual. But these things come in phases. Hopefully I am going to be, you know, right back into it soon. It's definitely not a hobby I'm going to be giving up. But yeah, I think I need to really have a long, hard think about which projects I'm going to be working on next to make sure I get something that's really going to hook me back in again. So those are all my finishes. I'm going to put them away, and then I'm going to come back and show you my ongoing whips. So I have 5 whips, or works in progress, as I head into my 5th year of diamond painting. So I'm going to start with the oldest. This is Outside the Sweet Shop. I started working on this at the end of January 2024. So this one really has been hanging around for a while, and I'm trying to show you as much of it as possible, just so you can kind of get the scale of this project. So this is from Diamond Art Studio. It is their original max colour diamond painting. They started bringing out particularly the works of this artist, Hel Corio, who's just this fabulous digital artist who kind of does clever things with photos to pull them all together into these gorgeous rainbow effect pieces. And this has 197 colours. And this was a kit that came out, and I, like probably a lot of people, looked at it and thought, I don't want to do a kit with 197 colours. And then I started seeing people working on it and showing completions and saying how much fun it had been, and realised actually it was another challenge, and it's good, like I was saying earlier, it's good for me to push myself out of my comfort zone and try different challenges. So I decided to go for this too. This is an intensely confetti heavy piece. I do not mind confetti at all, otherwise obviously I wouldn't touch this with a barge pole. But I do find it overwhelming if I do too much of it. So very early on, I decided this was a project I was going to do in small bursts. So what I do is I do quite small rows, like maybe that wide. And what I try and do is after every other project that I finish or put aside, I get a row of this done. This was my other goal in my end of quarter 4 review, was to just get a good amount of progress done on this, because at that point I hadn't picked this one up for a few months, because once it got to the time of year where there were all these seasonal projects I wanted to do, like Halloween and Christmas, I was focusing on those, and I wasn't making the time to go back and do a row of this. So I would say I got almost as far as I hoped to. I did, I think, was it another 2 or 3 rows that I did since I last showed you this? I'm not sure. I am ever so slightly over the halfway mark. You can tell by the logo at the top. So this is the section that I have done, and I've just got this much to go. I say just, it's obviously a fair bit, but I think what might happen based on other projects that I've broken up like this before is once I've done a couple more, have a row, have a break, have a row, do a row, have a break, I may find once I get to the last bit that I feel that drive to like push on and finish it. So I'm optimistic that I could hopefully get this finished, well, at least within 2025. I probably slightly scuppered myself by starting my comparison project, which I'll get onto in a bit, because that features another really confetti heavy piece. So again, it's like just wanting to have a break. And I'm not likely to go straight from this to that and so on. But I'm pleased with my progress. I think it is looking fabulous. It looks amazing in the viewfinder, because up close, this intense confetti makes it a little pixelated, but of course diamond paintings are not supposed to be viewed up close. And this effect down here with the light shining on the wet pavement, I just think is one of the most stunning things I have ever done in diamond painting. So yeah, love it. And I'm stubborn. You know, I'm definitely going to finish this, even if it takes me an awful lot longer than I originally anticipated. Well, I guess it already has, because I kind of thought I might finish it within 2024 and then came nowhere close. But I'm definitely going to finish it, and I have other Max Colour kits from Diamond Art Studio that I'm looking forward to working on in the future too. But I'm only ever going to try and have one of those on the go at once. So this one's got to get done, and then I can come back to one of those. But yeah, it's fabulous and a lot of fun and something very different. If you don't mind confetti, it is worth giving yourself a bit of a challenge with one of these Max Colour kits, because yeah, it's something very different. So that is now my oldest whip, which honestly isn't too bad compared to the position I was in a few months ago. And then my next oldest is my Christmas kit by Donna Gelsinger that I started. And this only came out in sort of September, October time, and I picked it up wanting to work on it this year. So I picked it up knowing that actually a kit of this size, unless I just wanted to work on it the whole way through, and I didn't because I wanted to do other Christmas projects as well, I wasn't going to get it done in 2024. And I like to do seasonal kits when they're seasonally appropriate, so I thought I'll do as much of it as I can this year, then I'll put it away and I'll finish it for next Christmas. I may revisit it in Christmas in July, you know, when a lot of diamond painting places are doing that, because I would like to get it finished well ahead of the Christmas season so that we can maybe put this one on the wall. But anyway, I'm doing a lot of jabbering without showing you. So, I'm actually a fair bit over halfway. I think when I last showed you this, I hadn't got quite this far. I went back and did a little bit more. So yeah, you can see by the top and where I am with the logo, that I'm a decent bit over halfway. So it's actually probably only a couple of weeks or so of diamond painting to finish off the rest of it. The rest of it is quite confetti heavy though, to be fair. And I was surprised. I'm not very good at judging when I look at a kit. whether it's going to be really confetti heavy or color blocking or whatever. And I'm constantly underestimating the confetti. And then this, like, this bit here, this side here, this shook me because I did not anticipate how confetti heavy it was going to be, but it looks fabulous. As soon as I saw the render of this kit, I had to have it because I just thought this is one of those ones where, I mean, Diamond Art Club are known for their rendering. Their rendering is fabulous and it is a huge part of why I like their kits so much. But sometimes they just extra knock it out of the park. And the way these colours came together, yeah, it is stunning. I absolutely love this piece. It is 92.8 by 69.9 centimetres. So it's a big one. It's squares, as big ones often are. And yeah, like I say, I reckon given another good 2 or 3 weeks, I could get this finished and have it ready in good time to go on the wall for Christmas 2025. But this is going to be intense. I always underestimate confetti, and I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, no, that's really confetti heavy. So that tells you it's going to be slow going. Beautiful though, isn't it? Okay, so that's that one. Right, my voice is starting to go from talking too long, so I'm not going to be much longer. And anyway, the next two I have to show you are my comparison project kits. So this is the Apprentice from Jaded Gem Shop. This is the original hybrid, hybrid's what she called it, rendering style, which is where it's computer generated and then touched up by hand. This is, you know how I said I underestimate confetti? I looked at this and saw it was a lot of confetti, but I majorly underestimated it. This row was intense. It's quite pixelated. I think if you're interested in this one, because I'm not going to dwell on it here, do go look at my first check-in from the comparison project. I'm hoping to get one up every month or two, I would say, because, you know, it's already been a few weeks since my last update and I haven't started on row 2 yet. But yeah, I had some thoughts about the rendering, and I think it's going to look a lot better as I do more of the picture and there's more context from the rest of the picture to kind of fill in the bits that maybe don't make as much sense. But my initial impression of this row was that it was a bit disappointing, exactly how pixelated it was. These are books. They're kind of just a mess of pixels. So this was the hybrid one, and for comparison, here is the pixel charted hand-rendered one. So yeah, it's a really striking difference. This one was so satisfying to work on. I did this one first because I knew that this would be a lot slower. And then I whizzed through this and it was so satisfying. And to be honest, it kind of felt like I was seeing the artwork as it should be done. But I'm trying my best to reserve judgment because I know by the end of it, there will be plus points for each of them and minuses for each of them. And I was open when I was setting up the project that I know I'm probably going to prefer this one because I do love hand-rendered crisp looks. Yeah, I feel like the difference is going to be more stark than I originally anticipated. And the feedback on my first check-in video suggested a lot of people agreed. I think, if I remember correctly, there were even some people who say they generally prefer, you know, the less crisp rendering styles, who were a little taken aback by this. But yeah, go follow on to that series if you would like to see how these come out, because whilst I will show them in my quarterly check-ins, where I do my kind of what are my whips and what have I finished this quarter, I'm not going to feature these in any major way because I don't want to detract from the series. So putting these away now. And last up, I have one small mini project which I started in March thinking I could get this done as one last finish before this video, and then didn't because I hit a real diamond painting slump and I just did not want to diamond paint. So I actually went longer than I ever have since starting the project without diamond painting, you know, when it wasn't because I was away or something like that. I think I've done it again and picked up a kit where I look at it and think, yeah, I'm really going to enjoy that because of the colours and the pattern and everything like that. And then, yeah, just bamboozled myself with expectations over reality. I've got to start going into kits with more of an open mind, I think, so that I don't... I think sometimes I ruin kits for myself because I'm so convinced that I'll love it that if it's not quite as good as that, it feels like a disappointment. Anyway, this is another Diamond Art Club. It's Paint the Moon. It's by Kusing Kessil. I'm so sorry, I do not know how to pronounce that. And this is another one that is a Amazon.com exclusive, so I picked this up via Stackry. And yeah, I thought super fun, nice, easy project. Lots of colour blocking, colours I absolutely adore. So yeah, goodness knows why it's... I don't even know if it's that the kit hasn't been doing it for me so much as I just haven't felt like diamond painting as much. But I have worked on it a fair bit the past couple of nights and I kind of feel the return of the bug. So I think this is probably going to stay a whip for now. I don't feel like finishing that last row, which is largely blocking. So I think I'm going to leave this to finish another time. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to work on next. If I'm putting this away, I kind of feel like I'd like a new start, but then I'm also looking at this and thinking there's a lot of whips here. I think I'm probably going to go back to The Apprentice and do another row of each of those, because it would be good to get another check-in under my belt in the next month or so. I should then also do a row of Outside the Sweet Shop again. But this is a problem when I'm being slow, is that I set myself goals and then it's not like I have to do those things because it's a hobby. I'm not, you know, accountable to anyone for how much I do and how much I don't. But I get annoyed with myself if I don't meet my goals because, you know, they're the things that I want to get done by a certain point. But then those things take up kind of all my diamond painting time and it's like, okay, well, when do I start on something new and do something a bit new and fresh? But honestly, I don't even know what else I feel like starting at the moment. We're doing a bit of reorganising in our bedroom and my diamond paintings are stored in various cupboards in the bedroom and I can't easily access them at the moment anyway. So I think the easiest thing is to do some more of The Apprentice and then, you know, in a month or so, by the time I've maybe done that and a bit more Sweet Shop and I've maybe finished this or whatever, I will pull out something new and I'm not sure what that might be. I'm maybe feeling another Richard Lorenz. I was thinking about working on Special Delivery this year, or the Mystery Kit, or something completely different. We shall see. But yeah, that's where I am at the end of my 4th full year of diamond painting. I'm still loving it. As you can tell from the tone of this video, it's not quite the obsession for me that it was. I think some of that is also, it's not just that the shops take up time, it's also that they are diamond painting related and I don't want diamond painting to be my everything as much as I love it. So I'm kind of forcing in time for other things as well. I've been really enjoying reading again the past few weeks. And I had kind of got out of the habit of reading as much as I used to, despite being a lifelong bookworm. So I'm really enjoying reading again. I tend to listen to audiobooks while I'm diamond painting. And then I also like to have a different book on the go that's, you know, reading on my Kindle. And I've been doing more of that and enjoying it. And I've been catching up on some series and just, yeah. I don't know. I'm just in a little bit of a funk at the moment in general. But yeah, all will be well. So that is the end of my diamond painting review. If you have enjoyed this, please consider dropping a like on it. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you stick around. So please consider doing that too. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.